journey's unsmooth, the going gets rough. Which path should I choose? Each step I take gets closer to my dreams. Each hill I cross builds my self-esteem.
You are not alone. I am here with you. Just hold my hand. We will see it through. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't let your weakness win. Step by step.
Good day to you, my viewers, from everywhere you're watching this program. I want to welcome you to the program Career Guide on Glorious Vision Television. And my name is Samuel Maradesa. I am the counselor on this program, and I give you tips that will help you become well in your careers, to make you chart your career path intentionally and with the right information so that you will not make mistakes as you try to have a hedge over others in your career. I always come on this program with great excitement, and because I look forward every time to the opportunity I have to interact with you, and also the feedbacks I keep receiving every time after this program, even during this program, has always been impressive and encouraging. But unfortunately, today I am here with a deep and heavy heart. In the past few days or week, we heard a news about a young lady in Newbong, Umoren, who wanted to make ends meet for herself, went out in search of job, but unfortunately, she got raped and killed. Last week on this program, I was discussing some of the things you should know before you start seeking for job. Little did I know that this will turn into a sequel of another discussion, because I was only talking about what you should know before you start searching for job. But today, the event of the death or the callous murder of Inilbong Umoren is now making me look into another dimension of conversation with us today. And I will be talking about lessons for job seekers. Lessons for job seekers. We'll be drawing out lessons from the life and death, unfortunate death of this beautiful, promising young lady who was only 26 years old as at the time she was callously murdered. Like I said, she went out to search for a job. I would like to state this fact that a lot of people do some things wrong when they are searching for a job. They go to the wrong place, they do not contact the right people, they do a whole lot of wrong things when they are searching for jobs. Some of us have also done our job searches or accepting interviews and invitations wrongly. Some of us have done it before. But I want to tell you that not because this young lady is dead, and not because I am not compassionate enough, or I do not sense the heaviness in the heart of family and friends about this lady. I want to tell you that Inilbong Umoren did a whole lot of things right in a search for jobs. She did a whole lot of things right. What the average individuals wouldn't have done, what they wouldn't have considered, this young lady, she did them. She contacted a friend when she got the job invitation. She kept giving updates of her whereabouts, even when she was there at the den of her killers. A lot of people will just go out, seek job without considering so many things. But I am saying that Inilbong Umoren did a whole lot of things rightly. But unfortunately, she was still murdered. But because she did a lot of things rightly, that is why we have the opportunity for our killers to be apprehended. which is, it doesn't make the story become a little pleasant. It's just that at least that case has been closed, but a life has been lost. But we that are still alive, not being insensitive, we want to learn some things. I want to bring up some of the tips that you are out there, especially those that are still seeking jobs everywhere, sending application letters, giving people your CVs, some of the things you should take note of. That's why I'm tagging this as a dedication for the life of Ineobong Umorin. So what are the things you should take note of? What are the lessons you should draw from this unfortunate event? Number one, don't be too desperate in your job search. Do not be too desperate in your job search. I've seen a lot of people, because they want to get a job, they get so desperate and they want to talk to everybody. They want to expose everything about that, making it known in such a desperate manner that I need a job and I need it now. The truth is that if you need a job, if you are in need of job, for those that are really in need of job, they get so desperate because situations in the country is not encouraging. You want to become independent of yourself. You want to be able to make ends meet for yourself. But don't let it lead you to the point of being desperate, because a lot of people prey on the innocence and the desperation of so many people, especially when they see such person online. Oh, you need this job. Oh, before you get this job, you must do this. And that's why a whole lot of ladies out there, because of their desperation to get the job, some HRs will take advantage of them. Some job owners will take advantage of them. They will tell them to do awkward things. Some will make some payments where it is not necessary. And you begin to do a whole lot of things that are not supposed to be done. That's why I'm telling you that in your job search, don't be too desperate. You may not necessarily, we have seen situations where people post it online and say they are in search of a job, they are desperately needing a job, and some people will help them. So I may not say that it is wrong for you to make yourself known to the people that you are in need of a job, but remove that element of desperation from whatever you are posting online or whatever you are telling people when you see them and you have the opportunity to interact with them. So the first lesson is that don't be too desperate in your job search. Number two, be careful with your details you release on social media. Be careful with your details you release on social media. We've seen a lot of situations, a lot of unpleasant events happen as a result of people releasing too much information about themselves on social media. In fact, I was just thinking of, it may be a good thing for you to have, at least an average Nigerian now would have nothing less than 2 SIM cards. Yes, not just because they want to do some things, but because you want to try this network, either for browsing or the likes. It can be good for you if you at a point in time say, this is my official line and this is just my other line. Yes, and your official line, you may not have to indiscriminately release that. So your official line may be also on your CV, which is very important. The other line where you meet with friends and family and people that you just meet online, that may be there online. But when it comes to some sensitive information, you may have something, an official kind of lifestyle, which should not be easily accessible by everybody. So matters like job search and matters like businesses, which are very serious, should go to your official line. So when you see I'm going to still talk about the reason why this is important, but what I'm saying now on this second point of the lessons we're learning from the life and death of a newborn Umorin is that the second one is that be careful of your details you release on social media. Don't just release everything about yourself on social media so that any indiscriminate person will just call you, send you junks and things like that. Just be careful. You should be able to tailor yourself, especially if you are online, if you have a professional image online. Remember last week I spoke about having a professional profile online. So this should be who you are. So even if any information is coming to you, you know it's professional and you attend to it accordingly. The third reason is that, the third lesson is that you should be sure of a job vacancy source before you apply. Be sure of a job vacancy source before you apply. There are on social media right now, there are so many people that will create pages and that will say, we are hiring. You just see it almost everywhere. Gone are the days where people will start trekking. There's always that physical activity of trekking to look for jobs, dropping brown envelopes of your CV and your application letter to companies, whether they solicit for it or not. But these days we have it on social media where companies or HRs will drop some so-called HRs will drop some vacancy opportunities and people begin to apply indiscriminately. But I'm telling you now that before you apply for any job, even if it is that thing you do, even if it is in that area that you feel you have studied actually in school, be sure of that source before you apply. You know, there are times that you just see a broadcast on some groups and they'll say 3 females are needed at a particular place for job of ushers, for job of waitress, for job of things like that. And you don't even know, and they will say, send it to this number. You don't know the source of that vacancy. Please, don't just apply. Don't just send your details to anybody indiscriminately. It's a show of desperation, which I have spoken against earlier on. So don't just, until you are sure of a vacancy source, do not apply. Before you apply, talk to the person. If the person is bringing it in and saying that sometimes some of the broadcasts will carry, call this number, send your details to this number. Ask the person that has shared that vacancy source, that vacancy, and ask him, do you actually know the person, or is it you that is looking for this person? Or be sure of the source before you apply. Another thing is that, which is very important, disregard interview invitations for jobs you did not apply for or that you cannot identify a credible reference for. Disregard interview invitations for jobs you did not apply for. Some of us, a whole lot of adults, would have at a point in time received some SMS or sometimes emails. It is more frequent in SMS where you will just receive the SMS and say that come to this location and you for the job. Sometimes some of the ones I received, they'll say that based on reference, they will start by that, saying based on reference, you're hereby invited for a chat with the management at this location, at this location. So if you know that you have not applied for a job and they are sending you invitation, please don't go. I tell you, please don't go, except you take some other steps. The fact is that there are times that individuals, friends could stand as a reference for you. They may have put in a good word for you. Maybe, I don't know who I have met sometimes somewhere ago, who might have confirmed me to somebody or referred me to somebody or referred someone to me saying that this person will be good for this job. And the person may have forgotten to inform me. Such situations do happen, whereby you just get that invitation, which will tell you that based on reference, the next thing you need to do is that, which is another lesson. HRs are human. You can talk to them. You can get a heads up about any invitation that you get. If you, for example, get an invitation message or mail that tells you based on reference, or you are hereby invited for a job or interview or chat. When you hear job chat, just don't go there. If they say job chat, because that is what some of these dubious people use. They say you are invited for a chat with us here for a job. No, just leave it. But if it's an invitation for an interview, that's even much better, even though you still need to consider some other things. You should know that you can call the number. If it is a number that has sent it to you, HRs are human. Don't say, this is an HR, so he's not going to acknowledge my call or want me to talk to him before the interview. No, you can call the number and ask, when did I apply for this job? Ask the person. If it tells you that, hey, we saw your contact on Facebook or we saw your contact somewhere, if you have not deliberately or personally applied for it, just hang up and just disregard that. And if in such trying to reach out with the HR, the person says that, oh, someone has referred you to us or referred us to you, depending on how it goes, then you ask about the person. Okay, who is this person that has mentioned me to you? If they say, okay, and they mention the name of the person, you need to get across to the person to confirm, okay, I got a call from this company, and they said you were the one that mentioned me to them. So is it true? If the person says yes, oh, I forgot to tell you, I told NNPC about you, I told this particular company about you, and because of what I know you can do, please go to them. With that confirmation, you know that this is legit. References can happen. Reference invitations can happen for interview can happen. But you should be sure that any job you did not personally apply for, or you cannot locate a reference to that job for you, you should not take it up to go to that location. Another thing is that for every interview invitation you get, research about the company. Yes, research about the company. Some job seekers have gotten to the point of sending applications to numerous places that you cannot even recall which one you have sent your application letter to. It happens, and that's the truth. That is one of the experiences of job seekers. You will have sent to so numerous places that you don't even know which and when you did. So when those invitations come sometimes, you just look at it, I've forgotten that I even sent to this place. But if such happen and you get an invitation, maybe you have gotten the reference and you're able to confirm that this is kind of legit, you should also research about the company. Researching about the company does at least two good for you. Number one is that, let me start from the other one. Number one is that it gives you a hedge when you get to that point of interview and they ask you questions. Sometimes they will ask you questions. What do you know about our company? So when you have researched about that company, you will be able to say one or two things about the company. Oh, you do this, you do this. And sometimes they'll ask questions by saying that, what do you think you're bringing in? How do you think you are relevant in this company? Depending on how they coin the question. But your knowledge of what they do in that company and also your skill that you are bringing in and you're merging it together will help you be able to say something that will impress that interviewer or the HR that is taking you up. But the other way that researching about the company will help you is that it will help you to know whether you should actually go for that job interview or not. It will help you when you research. Sometimes they will send SMS. We receive a lot of SMS these days and sometimes email, like I said. And you receive SMS and they begin to give just the location of the company. The location of the interview, not exactly the location of the company, the location of the interview, and also the reference number. When you see a job invite that carries a reference number, the REF 025V, don't go. I am saying that don't go. You don't need a reference number for a job interview. You do not need it. It is all those, I don't want to mention some of these companies that are not very relevant that do that. And some of those interviews, when you get there, they would want to put you into some funny marketing or funny activity as a job, so which is not encouraging. So when you see a reference, please don't go. But when you see that this job invitation does not carry the name of the company, even if it is an outsourcing firm that is taking it, they will explain to you in such a way that you have an idea of where you are going to. So if it doesn't carry a name, you don't know which company, they just say come for an interview, come for a chat, somewhere at Ogba, somewhere at Keja, or somewhere, depending on your location, and you cannot pin it down to what this company is about. Outsourcing firms will have a reference to the company that has given them that job of getting the best candidate. So you should be able to know that. So if you cannot find that, call the HR and ask. And sometimes, there was a time I just wanted to engage these people in some conversation, and I made a conversation. I called the person and I was asking, so what do you do in your company? I said, we provide service. If I play the audio, when I give people the audio of that conversation, some people laugh. You will truly laugh. I say, okay, you are inviting me to an interview. I said, what do you do in your company? The man said, it's a young man, a very young man. He said, we provide services. So what service? He said, we do service. That was what he was replying me with. We provide service. What service? If you tell me that you're providing a service, I know that everyone is directly or indirectly service providers, but there should be a definite service you provide. Is it that you are a marketer? Is it that you are a farmer? Is it that you are selling farm products or you are doing this? Don't just tell me you provide services. Say, if I get there, I will like their company. Must I get there before I know what you are doing? And you are telling me services without any definite purpose. So you should be able to interact. When you see that there is incoherence in what this person is saying and what you think it's the kind of job you should go for, please disregard it. Another thing that you should know is that for every interview, tell people where you're going. Yes, the moment you get that invitation, talk to somebody. In fact, there are some social media platforms that will help you. When you get some certain invitations and it's not so clear to you, you could go on a place like Nairaland. Nairaland has saved a lot of people from attending scam interviews. Yes, I am bold to say Nairaland can help you because that is one Nigerian platform where people talk to themselves and talk to one another and they share experiences a lot. So when you take that, you take it to Nairaland, ask questions about it, you will see people, or you type search about that company, search about that address. If they are scammers or if they are people that have shady businesses, you are most likely not the first person they are doing it to. They must have done it to people before, and those would have shared their experience. So you could go on social media and ask about the company. You don't need to post it on your timeline on Facebook and say, they are inviting me for an interview on this company. Some serious companies, which you may eventually know they are serious, may not find that funny with you. But just find a way of asking about that. You will know whether they are legit or not. And you should also, importantly, tell people where you're going. In Newborn Gumorin, she told somebody where she was going. She gave the address. She gave the number of the person that sent her the invitation. But unfortunately, she still lost her life. But what would give us a kind of, even a sigh of relief a little bit, is that the perpetrator were apprehended. And it is because of what she did right. So and there are a lot of cases of people who went for job invitations without telling people, and they become missing till today. So that should not be your case. And the death of Inubong Kumoren is something that is very serious to us, especially on this program when we talk about career guide and we see someone die as a result of seeking a perfect career for ourselves. We need to take it up, and we our hearts are with the family, and we pray that such will not happen again. If you follow some of these principles that I have listed, you will do just fine when it comes to your job search. Let people know about your location. Let people know the number of the person that has called you. And when you get to a certain location and you are finding it funny that either the location of the interview doesn't look like a company, it doesn't look like a business environment, it doesn't look like a place, except you are going for the job as a maid and you are saying that you have to enter into someone's house, please turn back. Turn back. Try to let people know about your location and be responsible in your job search. This is the much we can take on this program today. We pray that the Lord will console everyone affected by the death of this young lady, and we rebuke such from the life of any other person that is watching this program from this moment onward. So if you have further questions or you want to make some other clarification about certain job invitations that you have received, please, you can feel free to reach out to me. I will definitely help you to know whether this is very important or you should not just go to that. So till we meet again, same time next week. God bless you, and bye for now.